Report West.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. What up, people? It is Mundo Madness Monday. How y'all doing? Mundo in the house tonight. It has been a rainy and stormy day today. Totally wet. Totally wet. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. I got drenched earlier than today, man, because I got stuck at work with one of the houses I went to and the key didn't work to get inside the house. So it's like I had buses coming with guys to get into the house, and it was like, God damn. Yeah. So I couldn't get in the house. I got individuals coming and had to have somebody bring the key for me and open the house. It was like, oh, dude. So I got drenched today, but it's all good. It's all fun, man. Got home a little bit early, so I figured I'd go ahead and do the show a little bit early today and see maybe I can catch quite a few people in today, man. So we'll see what happens. Normally I do the show where everybody's about ready to go to bed. So let's get into the tonight's discussion, man. And tonight I'm wanting to talk about Sabers in the movies, man. And it doesn't have to be just in the movies. We can talk about comic books and also maybe even shows, especially like Rebels, maybe. Hey, Cincy, what up, my man? What up, buddy? How you doing? Um, and let's also talk about if you want to get into games, to Sabers in the games, we can do that too. But there's such a variety of things going on right now. Oh, I also want to kind of update you on a little bit on the F-16 build, right? I got everything wired up, but for right now, I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. It's crashing, so every time I put the battery, there's just it sounds like really quick and then it goes dead, or if it doesn't even sound, see? So if you can see, it's on right now, right? That means I know I don't have a card in there, but I'll show you. Like I'll put the card in. And I think it has something to do with that little part that came loose, that little MOSFET by the power cords. It kind of broke off, so I'm not sure if maybe the pads are kind of messed up on it. And we'll see. I'm thinking I need to go ahead and get. You see? So here's what it does is I'll do this and it'll turn on. And then three, two, one, there it goes. See how it crashes like that? So it's like So I gotta take the where where's my multimeter? I probably have to get the multimeter and check and see if that little MOSFET thing is working, which is if you can see this little piece right in here, right? So that little piece right there, um, I had got it popped off when I was putting it in the F-16, and then it just didn't work anymore. So now that could be one of the problems, but also it could be my wiring. So what I may do is take all of the wires off the board, re-clean the board up, take all the solder off and redo it, re-clean it, take some of these wires, snip them just a little bit and redo them and see if that really works. Maybe that might be the trick to do. So it could be just the wiring itself, and I might have to just do some new wiring on it and see what happens, right? Real clean wiring stuff. But nonetheless, man, I got it in, I got it pretty tight, pretty cleanly. Not too bad because when it goes down up in here, right? So, you know, with as short as I got those wires, man, it'll look pretty clean, man, once I get it stuck in there. Not too bad. Not too bad. So, but that's the update. That's the update on the F-16 right there. Um, so I've got this bad board right here too. This board here is no good. So I'm gonna use this board for parts and maybe learn how to clean it up and learn how to, maybe fix these a little bit if I can. I don't know. I mean, it's worth venturing into, right? It's worth venturing into learning how to fix boards. I may not be successful at it for a good while, but at least I can attempt it and really learn how to, micro soldier onto these things. I've got a hot air station, but if you're really going to try to do like the hot air and stuff like that, make sure you're gonna have to take it off of these chassis because man, that hot air will melt these damn things quick. Um, so that's you got to make sure you keep yourself in check too. I'm trying to keep myself in check, right? Um, okay, so let's get into tonight's discussion about uh, sabers in the movies. And I have, with all the different new sabers coming out and different designs and so forth, I think one of the best sabers in the movies, as far as saber props go, you're looking at of course Luke Skywalker's, right? And then Leia's and also Qui-Gon Jinn's. I think their sabers look phenomenal on film. And you see some. Well, you know what? We can also get into the discussion of uh of fan made films. Let's do that as well, because I've seen quite a few fan made films that have brought out a few saber designs. One I know that I've seen quite in it's almost appalling sometimes, but I guess they look okay for fan made films. But looking at some of these fan made films, and then you see like quite a few Ultra Sabers in their props, as far as the fan made films, right? And I've seen probably about, I would say I would count more or less like maybe 12 designs in all of the fan made films that I've seen. I've seen quite a few designs from Ultra Sabers, and I think that people buying the Ultra Sabers for their fan made films because they knew they may have go at it pretty hard, maybe mess it up or something. So they kind of knew what they were buying at that point in time, so that it'll look kind of neat on film, but at the same time, if anything happens to it, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, right? Because I mean, they're just props at that time for the film. Uh, and their actual sabers that their higher end sabers are meant for their uh personal collections, and they won't be harmed in any way, right? Their personal sabers won't be harmed in any way. But it was also cool to see that the fan made films that they actually can go in a good choreography, if you will. Um, Not all of them were too great, but some of them were pretty dang good. Some of them were pretty decent. I didn't. There was one particular one that I had seen. I think it was in I think it was a French fan-made film, and it was towards. I think the storyline, if my memory serves me, it's been a long time, so forgive me if I'm saying this right, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. But there was a French fan-made film, and I think the storyline was part of I think the old Republic era, and they had, I think, part of it, not necessarily Darth Malgus, but a little bit earlier than that. I think it was like two brothers or this guy. Oh man, he was just he was a dark Jedi, and then he was trying to become a Sith, I believe, if memory serves me. And he had all of these students with him, and each one of them were killed. And he ended up taking their power after each one of them were killed, or he had to kill them in order to receive this power. So I don't know if I saved it or not, but I found it very interesting that the storyline. It was pretty well made, but it was in French or some other foreign, you know, language. But it really was well made, and the lightsabers weren't too bad either. They look pretty decent. I know a couple of them in there. I believe they were Ultra Sabers, but the other ones I wasn't sure of what companies they were from, or maybe they personally made those. Maybe they got. I think there was one or two that I've seen that were MHS parts, excuse me, and that they built their own, right? So they built their own prop for the show, and it did look pretty decent on film. I thought it was pretty decent on film. So go go figure, right? And but like I said, and then other films, the movies, animated films, the animated films look pretty rad, man. Uh with saber designs that they have, especially like Ventress's sabers. Then you also have Dooku saber. They look pretty decent as far as, the animated uh movies and shows go, and they are really well drawn out. Now, sometimes you may find like a little bit, I guess, in the direction that the Pictioneer or the drawer goes. Some of them may not be too, bueno, or some of the lines may be just skewed just a tad bit, and they kind of throw things off just a tiny hair bit. But you have to really pay attention to that. Not many people are going to, because of how, fast that the show's moving. So, and sometimes you can miss a lot of things very easily, right? Miss a lot of things very easily. Uh, I especially, well, let's take the Star Killer for instance, right? That particular hilt has become very popular right now. I mean, it is hitting all over the place. A lot of people are doing the Star Killer right now, and it has been one of the best looking hills in the video game genre right now, as far as all the Star Wars games, right? And so the Star Killer hill has been very well made, very well done. A lot of different companies making the Star Killer in their own version of it. So that in itself has been pretty exciting to see. And a lot of installers I've watched on YouTube do Star Killers, and man, I tell you, the Star Killers have come out pretty fantastic lately. So it's like, what? I myself am interested down the road to maybe purchase a Star Killer down the road, and what looks like TCSS may be doing like the beginnings of a Star Killer. You might have to do the cutout yourself, but they've got a piece coming out in production pretty soon that looks like, part of a Star Killer. And it was like, oh my goodness, an MHS Star Killer from TCSS? Woo, doggies. Oh man. I tell you, if R2 had his was alive right now, he'd be screaming, "What?" He'd be screaming right now. He'd be super excited. I know I am. I mean, just seeing the part itself right now is amazing. And I was like, oh my goodness. But that is so cool. And TCSS is coming out with some fantastic new products lately. And I'm hoping that I'm hoping we can get some new makers come in and grab some stuff from TCSS and build more or less their own hilts. And these are the hilts that I want to see in more or less your fan made films, right? I would love to see more creativity in hilts into the fan made films. I don't know about you guys, but I sure think that that would be phenomenal. I think that'd be pretty exciting to see different creations from TCSS into these fan made films and see what happens, right? But you never can tell. You never can tell. And of course, BK, he's been super busy busting out some new sound fonts for the Sabers. And man, they are just turning out fantastic from what I've heard and from what, you know, the little vids that I've seen lately. Yeesh, my goodness, man. He's doing some pretty cool work, and pretty soon I'm hoping I haven't got to I haven't had made any time yet, but I do plan on getting a Font Makers edition for Mundo Madness Monday, and that's just something um I've talked to BK about, and I want to go ahead and see if I can get maybe about four font makers right now at one time. And then I think I'll do a series of font makers uh, and have different font makers each episode. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe 3, 4 episodes of font maker editions until I can produce any more some more of those and see who's willing to come on and or if they have time in the time frame that I do the show. Now, I've done the like I said, tonight's show is a little bit early because I got home a little bit early today. Um, so and the reasoning behind the earliness today was because of the stormy weather. I mean, it's just been raining cats and dogs, and um, I just wasn't gonna work in those conditions. So I said, I'm gonna come on home, get ready, do the show a little bit early, see if I can catch a good audience at 8:30 instead of 9:45 when everybody's trying to go to sleep. So maybe everybody's busy tonight. So Cynthia, you're solo with me right now, man. It's just you and me, buddy. Man. Um, but I enjoy seeing all of these different hilts, the different styles of hilts that I've been seeing lately on YouTube, and um, the new designs that are coming out, especially Cal having the new design, the Fortis, right? Thanks, man. Yeah, I know you got me, bro. I know you got me. Um, always, dude. You're always there, man. You're always there. Appreciate it, dude. And yeah, I know everybody else is too. I know everybody gets busy, so that's the thing. Is like last Monday, uh, I had family obligations, so I couldn't do the show. Hey, Felicia, how you doing, Mama? Family obligations last Monday, so I could have come on the show, but the thing was, I didn't want to cut it too short, so that was the thing. It was just better to not have the show than to cut it too short. And honestly, I would have only done the show for 15 minutes, and I really didn't want to do that because I would come on, and by the time I come on and people show up, I'd have to get off. So I didn't think it was fair to anybody for me to do that, even if it was just a high and by type thing. I really appreciate the time that I spent with you guys and ladies, and for those of you who are watching later on, I sure appreciate everything and for all y'all's support. So, back to the discussion though, in getting into Sabers in the movies, the shows, in terms, and also. maybe the well, like Anthony, I mean, he put some hidden ones in the comic book, right, Felicia? So, we get designs of sabers in everything from fan-made films to movies to shows to animated movies and videos. We also have them in video games. Uh, and I think that some of the designs that you see in each and every one of these works of art, it's art upon art. If you get my drift right there, right? Art upon art. But it's so fascinating to see that, we have a plethora of designs to even check out. And that's what's really cool. Uh, Felicia said, dude, that was so hard finding them in the comics. Everything looked like a saber. Almost everything, Felicia. But yeah, I mean, I tell you what, when I was looking for him, Felicia, I had to wear this thing, man. I mean, I had to wear these in order to look and get into to those pictures to really find them. I mean, it took me a long time. It took me a really long time, and I sat there with the paper. I sat there with a paper and a pen, and there were some obvious ones, right? There were some obvious ones, and those are the ones that I started. Those were the ones that I started with first. And remember, he said that there was 25 in the comic book, right? 25. And I was like, holy shit. I probably spent a good 4 or 5, almost a week every day looking at each page. You make sure just to make sure that it was a saber, and I agonized over certain things, and I wasn't even some of them I wasn't even sure when I wrote them down. Some of them I wasn't even sure, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for it. It looks like one, but I'll write it down anyway, and I'll do that. And so my list, my on the very first day, I probably got about, well, I would say probably about maybe three, right? Three right off the bat on the very first day. Second day comes around, I probably found two. Let's see, Felicia says, yeah, but the wall panels of the ship and the explosion was tough, made me second guess myself. Felicia, I second guess myself a lot. That's why it took me over close to a week. I mean, it really, I mean, I really had to look at the lines and look at every small detail. That's why with those glasses, I was able to see and just write it down. And I said, okay, if it counts, it counts, and if it don't, it don't. Okay, so and that's what I did. I mean, it literally kicked my ass. It literally kicked my ass because I was literally staring at these pages for hours. I really enjoyed this last issue. So good. Oh, I know, right? Oh, it was awesome. And Felicia, another thing I was telling Anthony about is I forgot. Oh gosh, I forgot what company it was. Uh, that there's a saber called Glacier something, the Heart of Glacier something. And I told Anthony, I sent him a pic, right? And I said, Ant, look, this saber's got to go in the comic book, man. And it was really cool. I think he really enjoyed that. He really liked that. But I was telling him that saber fits Albatross Junction World because um, the way it was named, the way it looked pretty awesome. And and I think Anthony really enjoyed that picture, and he I hope he might put it in if he can get permission to put it in or not. I don't know. Maybe I'll talk to them and talk to that company, whoever's doing it, and see if they'll let Ant put it in his comic book. And and of course, Anthony's always looking for material into the comic book. I think that'd be a perfect addition to Albatross Junction. Is a saber called Heart of Glacier or Glacier something, but it's nonetheless it's pretty wicked cool, and I believe it'll fit in there really well, and especially maybe maybe Donovan's saber, right? I think that Glacier Saber should be Donovan's. I think that'd be pretty badass. He'll use that against the Divot. T, what up, man? What up? I gotta look this hill up. Yeah, I think it'd be like I said, it's Glacier something, and I forgive me, guys. I don't have another device with me so that I can just look it up. The one that I had is kind of going bye bye, so uh, my little my little pad is going bye bye, and I just don't have the funds to get it right now. Uh, let's see. Robert sent a reel by. Okay. Um. So I'm thinking. I just think. I know the way that I sent, and I sent it to space, and it looks so cool, right? Because the way, like the heart of glacier or something like that. Like, oh man, I can't remember what it was, but and which company made it, but Um, it was super cool, super cool. And I don't know if you guys have y'all been checking out like Benji and all of the guys that got together with the lightsaber meetup. Man, that was funny, right? Uh they had the real Sanos or something episode. It was epic, dude. They were all ganging up on Benji. It was so freaking hilarious. It was freaking hilarious. Like the real world type scenario, right? That vid was way too funny. Oh man, believe it or not, I was giggling so hard, dude. You know what? I was laughing so hard, I was crying. But what really the table full of sabers was just epic, though, man. Each and every one of those, it was just epic. Read read the freaking from Benji. Oh man, that was funny. It really was. And they waited for him to go to sleep, and then everybody started partying after he so called went to sleep. Oh man, I can't wait to see the next episode. I wonder who else they're gonna go after, or was it just Benji? It was pretty insane. It was pretty insane. It was funny. Man, there was a plethora of sabers. Oh, too many, dude. Too many. But that was just saber porn in itself. Just leaving all those sabers on the table like that. That was just saber porn in itself, man. I was just like, oh my God, just to get my hands on those and pick them up. Jeez. I mean, it's unreal. Unreal. I hope there was, yeah, that spread was crazy. I hope there is one a year at least. Yeah, I believe there be. I believe there'll be, man. Um, I think that might be kind of like they're starting a little um once a year type thing, get together with everybody. So we'll see some good antics from them, for years to come. Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting to see, right? Um, so I'm hoping in the near future that we might see some good animated films with some more outlandish, crazy designs and sabers. we're getting all these different cool designs of sabers, and what is that? I'm trying to think. There's a somebody who does art, saber art, and I forgot. I mean, kind of like some crazy stuff though, right? Some crazy designs have been shown, and I've seen some crazy designs on Pinterest. Um, Deviant art, I think it is, right? Deviant art, something like that. Yeah, the yellow katana from Visions season one is sick. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, I'm glad T, I'm glad you mentioned Katana Sabers, man. I would love to see a fan-made film or even a Star Wars regular film with a katanas from Darth Alice, dude. Darth Alice makes some insane, sick katana sabers, and I'm just I'm very glad that he was able to come on the show and talk to us. I hope he can come on again one day and talk some more. And but his katanas are insanely awesome, dude. Insanely awesome. And he is just a master of his craft, dude. A master of his craft. I mean, now he outsources some things on them, but for the most part, they're just gorgeous hills, man. Absolutely insanely gorgeous katana hilts. And man, one day I hope I can get at least one from him, you know. That would just be like such an honor just to get one from him. And I better start saving like right now, right? It might take me a couple of years to get one of his, but start saving up now so that I can hit him up for one. Because I think if I'm gonna get a katana type saber, it'd be one from him, right? Um, they're just insanely beautiful, and I think he's doing some new stuff too. I'm not sure what he's working on at the moment, but man, he's. I think he's working on some that have like rare species of wood. So he's kind of doing like some wood saber type sabers with wood grain and real wood. And I'm not sure what the species of wood that he's using, but man, some of them look really, I mean, absolutely pretty, man. They're just pretty and they look good. But I would love to see them in um, either, in posters or maybe some films, fan-made films, or even just regular movie films, right? I think his hilts are that type of quality, and as well as other people's too. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, just I'm not dogging anybody's, hilts of any kind. I'm just saying that the hilts that I know and what I've seen personally more often than others, right? And all these different companies that are coming up with new hilts and stuff. Like this morning, I saw, well, Vader's Vault finally coming back with some blades. So they say they've got some new blades that they're going to be coming out with. They just announced it today, I think, or I don't know, maybe I missed it. It was a couple of days ago or something like that. But I just saw their video today, so that's the reason behind me talking about that today. And I think some of Vader Volt's designs, I think they would be pretty phenomenal on these videos, right? I think. Let me scoot just a little bit here. There we go. Like, I think Vader's Vault, some of their designs, I think would look really good on fan-made films or even Star Wars films as well. KR Sabers. He's done some really wonderful hilts. And I believe his hilts, if anybody's hilts should be on the movies themselves, I think his hilts would be very well usable in all the Star Wars movies, and as well as fan made films. I and especially like the flagship. The flagship is so versatile that I mean it can be any kind of design with the flagship. There's such it's such a versatile hilt, right? So the designs are almost no, I mean not endless, but man, you could I mean you could go to the moon and back for designing those flagships. So you got a plethora and a whole slew of different designs that you can use with those hilts. Now the Fortis, I really like the Fortis look. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, it's it's a very interesting hilt, but it looks like it has a lot going on with it though. An Orgus Din flagship is on my list. Oh, dude, sweet, sweet, man. I was thinking, um, I may get a flagship eventually, and if I get a flagship, I'm not sure if I want to turn that hilt into my Deer Slayer or use another hilt for the Deer Slayer. M- I'm going kind of back and forth, but one of my projects that I want to do, and I already have the deer horns for it, but I want to make a triple crown, a triple crown of deer horn and deer skin to go into on a hilt. So and I'm gonna call it the deer slayer. So that's one of my builds, right? um one of my ideals since I'm a deer hunter. That's gonna be a hilt that I can take with me to the ranch all the time. Light my way to the to the deer stand, and then when I'm coming back from the deer stand at night to light up my way, right? Yeah, it'll look sick, dude. It'll look sick. I don't know if I can do the horns myself, or if I'll get somebody to help me make the crown to go around the neck of it. And right now I'm in the middle of trying to get some deer hide so that I can make the wrap. So um, that's gonna take a little bit of time because I don't want to have to cut it and do certain things with it myself until I'm ready. But yeah, dude, it's gonna be really nice when I get done with it. And um, but I want it to be a very thin hilt. I want it to be a very thin hilt because I'm not gonna be able to put it on my. Well, I don't know. It depends on how I do the horns, whether it'll go on the hip or not. But we'll see. We'll see. It may be one where I can just uh take the hilt and just kind of put it kind of like a shoulder holster type. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, I've still got some crazy ideas for it, right? Uh, with the bullet crystal chamber. Yeah, Felicia. Yeah. You're on the same brainwave as I am, right? And I'm also thinking cutting the back of the bullets and drilling them for the buttons. So that's another thing is to do the back of the bullets. Let's see if I have one close by. Do I have a bullet close by? I may. Yeah. So I'm not sure. Maybe do a 12 millimeter. Okay. So to give you guys an idea right here, right? So I got this, this bullet's already spent. It's bad, right? I haven't cut it yet or anything like that for a crystal chamber piece, which I'm gonna cut, around up here and stuff like that. And then back here I'll cut this and I'll drill that right there. And I'll utilize this back piece right here to put in a button. So I'll have probably about right here, cut all that right there. If I can cut it nice and straight, sand it down, drill the middle out, and then turn a button into that, right? And and I'll do two of these to make the buttons on there for the saber itself. It'll be a lot of work though. It'll be a lot of work, but I already have natural patina on it, so it'll already be that much patinaed and weathered and natural weather, right? Naturally weathered. So, oh, dude, T, thank you, man. Yeah, it's been a long time for that kind of concept that I've been coming up with ever since I first started with the Sabers. And I've been deer hunting all my life, right? Um, my di- my daughter's telling me dinner's ready. I said, just put it in the microwave. I got the show going, so I'm like, eh. So she knows. So that particular hill, man, that particular build has been on my mind for probably about 4 years already, right? It's been on my mind for about 4 years. But what I wanted to do was to evolve my saber building skills because, like I said, I'm very slow at it. I've done my memory hilt. I'm in the middle of doing the F-16 build. I'm having some trouble with it, and once I get that done, then I'll be doing my father's memory build. After I do my father's memory build, and I will go. Well, I may do my father's memory build after I go back and fix the memory hilt, because that in itself I have to fix that and get that taken care of first. Then I'll do my father's memory hilt, and then after my father's memory hilt, then I'll think about getting the Deer Slayer going, getting it done and going. I have probably about 8 or 9 designs of hilts that I want to do, and that's why right now I'm trying not to buy too many of what everybody is doing right now at the moment, right? Felicia goes, "Did you get to color spray paint your saber stand?" Not yet, Felicia. Right now I've got it sanded down. I've got it sanded down, and I hope I sanded it enough. But I had, and my, oh man, and my spray paint is inside. But this is gonna be insane because I got my primer, but I bought paint that is both primer and paint at the same time. And brushed brass is what I bought. So that's what I'm gonna do this in is brushed brass. And then the cogwheel is gonna be red and black, right? So the rest of the stand is going to be brushed brass, and this part right here, I think on the very 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 inside up in here, if I can get like around there in there, um, with some red, and then inside in here, it's gonna be red and black, right? This whole piece is gonna be red and black with the rest of the stand being brushed brass. I think it's gonna look sick. I think it'll look sick. And that I just can't I just haven't made the time to do it though, Felicia. That's the problem. Is because every time I think I have the time to do it and I think I'm gonna do it, I get sidetracked with other things. I I am so bad. I get sidetracked with a lot of things because one of the things that I'm still working on are the clamp cards to send Anthony, right? So that I can put him on his website. So this is one that I just finished yesterday, and it so for those who are watching that have not watched before, I'm doing some clamp cards for the box one from TSS. You can do box one, or you can do the low profile box, right? And leave it to me to put things where I can't find them right away. I am so bad about that, and I so apologize because I am so disorganized. Now, one of these days, I'm hoping I can get organized, and that's another thing that kind of eludes me at times, right? It really eludes me. Is I am so disorganized, and I hate myself for it sometimes because really sometimes it just gets in the way of what I need, right? Or what I want to do, what I want to achieve. And I'm trying to change that though. I am trying to change and get myself organized a little bit better. Each time that I actually try and attempt to get somewhat organized, I get a little step closer. Not all the time, not all the time, but a little step closer here and there. And where did I put? See, like I had, I thought I had all of these were done, but guess what? These were actually not too great. Either these were too short, or there was a lot that I sanded off too much, and I'm like, ah, no. So these I will kind of put on some different little builds. Maybe I'll do quite a few, maybe PVC builds, and just put these on there. Where that way, if they people want to go at it, they can have those like that, and they'll go great with the PVC since they're not perfect, right? And they can it wouldn't matter because they're already kind of messed up. So, and I don't believe I have in here. I don't think I put it in here. I'm trying to find one of the low profile boxes that I have up here somewhere. And you want to say, "Where's Waldo?" My low profile boxes are Waldo, hidden Waldos, right? and And I'm telling you, people, I'm telling you, it's killing me. It's killing me. Let me see. My goodness. Don't be like me, people. Don't get disorganized like me. You'll hate yourself. Oh, so Felicia, you were mentioning about the crystal holder, right? For the bullet casings. Well, look, here we go. I found one of those, right, that I've already kind of started working on. So Um, I think that looks pretty sick right there. Put an LED in there, either in here or put an LED in here in between and hold the wire out this way where I have another little crystal out coming out this end. Here we go. So maybe you're looking at something like, uh, let's see, I don't know if you can see. So if you see a little crystal like this, here we go. Let's see, something like that, right? Come on, focus, focus, damn it, focus. So it's a little lopsided. There we go. So something like that, right? That's what I was thinking with some wires out here and then the LED up on top of here. And then the LED would shine all the way through, or maybe put one inside and have it have two mini LEDs, maybe the ones that go on the board or something, have them inside in here and shine out there. What up, Rudy? What up, my friend? So yeah, man, that's one of my kind of creations right here that I'm kind of thinking of doing, but it still needs a lot of work, right? Still needs a lot of work. But I'm getting them done. Okay, so and I tell you, man, my disorganization skills are complete. Not organization skills. Disorganization skills are complete. I think I would have Vader and the Emperor laughing at my ass because I probably couldn't get anything done. I'm telling you, man. I would be the number one failure for a Sith. Uh, so yeah, man. So I got like a little baggie of these right here. And these will be working right here. These will be on its way to Anthony pretty soon. I'm hoping by next week. I'm hoping. But me being the way I am, I'm gonna just retest them on the box and just make sure that they fit. They're nice and flush, at least. Now they don't have to be perfect, but for me, I am my own worst enemy. And even though I know I'm gonna put on there that they're not meant to be perfect, because if you're salvaging from a ship that is torn up and everything, that's how the story for him is going to be. Is that you're salvaging from a basically a torn up ship, right? So that's the story uh behind these clamp cards. And geez, man, I can't believe. Let me see here. See, now it's really killing me that I can't find one of these clamp cards in my possession, in my hand, or close by. And man, I tell you, oh, here we go. Okay, it is in there. It's in that little box. Good. So here we go. Low profile box one from TCSS, right? So if you put these in, and it's up to you how you want to do them, but and like I said, they're not all gonna be like super perfect. I don't plan to make them super perfect because a lot of people they got cutters, laser cutters, whatever kind of cutters. I just hand cut these with the Dremel and sand them down with sandpaper, and that's what I do. And this is how they come out, right? So this is just one of them like that. Um, let's see. I don't know if this one will fit. Let's see if this one will fit right here. And I try to make them at least somewhat decent, right? And this one is okay. This one needs a little bit of stuff, but see that right there? I gotta take that line off right there. But yeah, I think this is kind of wicked right here, man. And then just have the little wires. You have the buttons here, and then you have the wires coming out this way. You can see through a little bit right there. So you put some LEDs in there. Yeah, I think it looked pretty sick, right? It looked pretty sick. Then you got, let's see, we had that one, and then I have this one. Oh, let's switch it out. I would love to see these in some fan-made films as well, right? I think that'd be pretty dope. I think that'd be pretty dope. And then there's this style right here. Ooh, jeez. I don't know. Can you all see that? Kind of takes away the light a little bit, takes away from it. So you all see that right there? There we go. There's a little bit better look right there. So yeah, man. I got a few little designs, odds and ends here, and I got some green ones. Um, let's see here. These green ones, I kind of like these green ones too, man, because you can really customize. these green ones if you want. I can. There'll be a little bit more if I put soldier on them, but if you want to buy them the way they are, and then put soldier on them yourself, you know, I think they look pretty sick. Yeah, they look pretty cool like that. Pretty sweet. But yeah, man, actual PCBs, and I just hand cut them, and then also just sand them down by hand. I use the you know, just a little sandpaper like this till I get that fit that I want on it. Sometimes it's a little loose fit, sometimes it's a little tighter fit. Uh, it just depends on how I feel and how people want them, you know. And then, if you want, you can also. Um, I think they look pretty sick the way they are, and like I said, sometimes I go a little overboard with the sanding, so I have to kind of cut those and not have those just I'll either break them or I'll put them off to the side where they'll be on my own PVC type little build for little builds or something like that that I can just kind of get away with doing little things, right? But I would love to see one of those in a film or fan film or anything one of these days. I think that would be pretty awesome. That'd be pretty awesome. Now, I would also like to see some of Rob Petcow's uh, saber designs in films, fan films, regular films. I believe that he worked on a set with some people for I forgot what movie set he was working on some props. He was working on some props and stuff, but I would love to see some of his designs. Um, maybe the bad X and or how maybe man, he's got so many that I think would look so sweet on film, and it just I think they're so cool, the designs that he has. um my favorite curved hilt, though, I think from well, his curved hilt, the bad X, I think would really be beneficial to some of those hilts. Some of those fan-made films, or even the regular Star Wars films. I think that would look sick in there, as well as let's see who else. Where's the? I think there was a maker. What was it? Blue, blue something, blue. Oh, was it Blue Saber Company? I think it was. That was doing like some themed hilts. I think I believe it was blue something. I mean, and I'm sorry. I'm very bad with remembering certain things when it's been a while that I've seen them. But this gentleman was doing different themed hills. Like he did the Flash, he did He-Man, he did I don't think he did a Batman one. He did quite a few. I think he did a Sailor Moon one. He did several hilts that were themed hilts from movies, and with all the different fonts to go along with them, right? And really interesting hilts they were themselves. And the He-Man one looked pretty cool because on both sides of the emitter was He-Man's sword, right? The blade to He-Man's sword. And then, he did I believe it was Nova Star's He-Man sound font. that he put on there. And I have Nova Star's He-Man sound font. Love that sound font, man. Such a great sound font. Um, but I don't see a whole lot of themed hilts as far as like movies or as far as different shows go. And I think it would be kind of neat to see uh certain themed lightsabers, right? Like one of the ones that I was thinking that would might be pretty damn cool would be like the Black Lightning hilt, right? What it would look like. And I'm picturing Black Lightning's lightsaber hilt, I think would be kind of like uh I would say his kind of lightsaber might be like a flagship type of hilt, right? Now, do you agree or do you not agree? I don't know. Is there a canon one? Felicia, I'm not sure. I'm not I'm not sure on that. But it doesn't have to be canon. I'm just talking, hilts in general in TV shows, movies. Well, I guess you could say canon in certain types of hilts, right? But if you're going just for theme itself, it doesn't have to be necessarily canon, but you also have to think, in terms of the design itself, on maybe the main character, uh, Conan. Oh, Conan. Um, that would be that would be interesting, Felicia. A Conan one. That would be very interesting. Wow, Conan, huh? It's a cool movie for sure. It definitely is a cool movie for sure. I think Arnold would love it. I think Arnold would like be like check it out. Conan in space. Oh my god. That'd be really funny. It'd be funny, but oh my gosh. That would be kind of cool though too, right? Conan 2024. Conan 2032. Oh my gosh. Or Conan 6432. Oh my god. That would be crazy. A lightsaber Conan hilt. Oh, dude. Dude, or a Terminator with the one red eye. Oh, see? Felicia? Oh, now we're getting into a good discussion here. That's perfect. That Terminator. So you'd have the skull, right? You'd have the skull with the red eyes, like you said, the red eye, the skull with the mouth, and with the red eyes. Where would the I guess the eyes would be your buttons, right? The eyes would be your buttons for sure, and the mouth or the teeth. Maybe the teeth might hold the buttons, and uh, and then the top of the skull will be where your emitters at. And then it would be definitely an insane body, an insane. Oh my God, the chassis would be so insane with all the little circuits and parts for the chassis. Wow, dude, that's blowing my mind, Felicia. That is just blowing my mind right there. But see, sleek and shiny, yeah, sleek and shiny. See, that's the heart of the discussion right here, Felicia. Yeah, damn. See, that's what's gonna be cool because now we're really getting into a good discussion and seeing what people want to see in terms uh of the Hilton movies and everywhere, right? And we got so many designs, but you see, it's it's in an isolated area, but I want to see more of these kind of crazy, outlandish builds of movies and shows and so forth. I mean, I'm not talking like you're not gonna have any. any sabers like for the Friends show or anything like that, but different space movies, different really well-known movies. And Felicia, I mean the Terminator one I think would be perfect. The Conan one I think would be a good one as well, right? Now, we got October, we're in October now, right? So of course Halloween was coming up. So can you imagine maybe Jason Voorhees having one, right? A Jason Voorhees type lightsaber. Oh my God. The hockey mask. The and the hilt would have the overalls, right? Or the onesie type suit on it, right? And I wonder what I guess you would put maybe the machete for the chassis, right? The machete on both sides of the chassis, because I mean the machete is his signature, right? His signature go-to. Hellraiser? Oh, see? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Pinhead and all the other ones, maybe all of their different faces, all of the creatures, of the demons. That would be kind of cool. His puzzle box design? Yes. His puzzle box design. That would be excellent. I wonder if anybody be doing it. I wonder if anybody would be doing those kind of designs though. And not and this is because we're talking, we're talking outside of the box. Etching. Yeah, for sure. For sure, Felicia. Um, it goes, you know, the etching and the designing into it though. This is just creative beyond creative right there. But I don't think anybody's even attempting things like this, Felicia. That's see what people are going to be watching later on and listening to us while we're talking about this. They're going to be getting their they're going to listen to this, and I bet you someone is going to be doing these designs, and they're going to come up with one before Halloween. They have to. I'm pretty sure that some of these saber makers are going to find out. They're going to get right into it, and they're going to go and design all of this stuff, and I bet you by Halloween we're going to see some of these sabers come out. uh, Right. I can't do it, but you can. No, Felicia, I'm not the designing kind or the etching. I haven't even touched those things yet. I'm just barely even learning a line on Fusion 360 so that I can start trying to design my own, chassis. As a matter of fact, I hit up Rich for a design on a chassis for another hill that I'm going to make later on down the road, right? But I'd like to have that chassis before I get, this particular. Rudy says, "What are y'all going to be for Halloween?" I don't know, Rudy. I would like to have a Jedi costume, but right now it's just I haven't been able to concentrate on anything but getting certain things done here at the house. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy, man. If I can get away with it, if I can find someone to uh, make a, hey Jim, how's it going, dude? If I can find somebody to make me a Jedi costume, I probably would do that, dude. And see if I can get my sabers working before then. I'm hoping. What's up, Jim? Let's see. I've been looking at metal electroplating 3D print stuff. Oh, really? That is interesting, dude. I've heard something about that, but I wasn't. I know what electroplating is because one of my best friends started doing that before he passed away. He was starting to get into that. He bought the whole he bought this whole thing where he would do that, and I was like, wow. Posted at the beginning. Hmm, okay. Really? Did I miss that? Did I? Hmm, really? But yeah, man, the electroplating, my buddy, he had bought pieces of stuff, and he had this big old box full of liquid, right? And then he'd put the little clamps on it and then stick it in this liquid, and then it would, for something, I think it had something to do with the with that liquid that just binds it to the metal, right? Something like that. Anyway, he bought a whole thing, and it was beginning to do electroplating stuff. He had done a few pieces of something, um, and he had shown me one, but he never showed me like the process of it, or even what happened to his machine stuff. Uh, I don't know. I guess maybe his parents had sold it or something. I would have loved to have that machine and do that and learn how to electrolyte solution. Okay, there you go. Yeah, Jim. Yeah, the electrolyte stuff. Electrolyte solution. So you stick, what is it? You stick the metal in there, or any kind of anything like, oh well, I don't know. It wouldn't probably wouldn't do like any plastic stuff, right? It would probably just disintegrate the plastic stuff. But it would have to be like the light metal, like the aluminum and stuff, where it can stick to it, right? And then would you put it in to heat it up so that it completely sticks to it and doesn't come off, or how does that work? That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. But Jim, like we were talking about different designs in the movies and in shows and different areas of where you would see Saber stuff at, right? And I was thinking that some of the designs from like Rob Petkow and some other makers, a chemical bath formulated for the metal, and you want to coat, and yes, on plastic. Really, on plastic too? Ooh, ooh, done cold. Okay, huh, huh. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. Indeed. I would like to see how is there, Jim, is there any videos out on the process? I know you're getting are you just now getting into this, or have you kind of been working a little bit here and there with it? Not the process does it take long for the whole process? It only gets about 20 degrees hotter. Huh. Wow. Only 20 degrees, huh? Wow. Now, Jim, what kind of designs would you love to see in either fan-made films, movies, let's say comic books or other reading materials that you have not seen, or which hilts that you think have looked fantastic on films, on the Star Wars films at that? I like I was saying earlier that of course the Luke, Leia, and um like 4 hours. You have to go slow, but copper and silver take the longest, like 4 hours. Wow. Hmm. 4 hours, huh? Would it work on the 3D printed stuff too? I wonder. Yep. Oh, you were saying it liked 3D printed stuff, yeah? Yes, the tree saber. Oh, okay. Yeah, the tree saber. Uh, um, you know, and I was thinking like I was telling the others earlier too, like Rob Petkow's Bad Axe and different designs on his saber designs, but other companies as well, right? Because most of the time when I was looking, is plan or PLA or resin. Oh, okay. Oh, so you could print these out and then do the plating like that. Dude, that's badass. Uh, Felicia says I'm in a horror mood. Me too, Felicia. I know. We're watching scary movies all month long over there at work with the guys. So um, it's real fun to do that with the individuals because some of them you see scream, some of them they don't even care, and then some of them are just staring at the screen like nothing. It's too funny. It's too funny to watch these different facial expressions too when they see certain things, right? Mace Windu and Luke Hero, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, right. And you know, do you think on the Mace Windu and Luke Hero, would you like to see them in like maybe some fan made films? I know we see them on there on the big screen, but like a lot of what I've seen on fan made films are the Ultra Saber stuff, right? But what I want to see is I want to see some really good quality hilts come out for fan made films, but also hilts that we have not seen in the regular movies come out of into to the Star Wars movies themselves. And I'm thinking that some of these designs from these other saber companies, even Vader's vault, has a couple of good ones. Cal has some, the different stuff like Cal has. All these different saber companies, and even some TSS hilts that I would love to see designed go into some fan-made films as well as the Star Wars movies themselves, right? I find that very fascinating that there are so many designs that we have not really looked at or looked into or have even come close to being made. Um, like for instance, one of the hilts that I have looked at, uh, I don't know if you all look into Pinterest or not, but some of the Deviant art, deviant deviant art is what it's called. Excuse me, deviant art, and there is a couple of hilts on there that I would love to have made, and especially TCSS could possibly make them, right? Because they look like they're made from TCSS parts. Um, Jim says now that the only fan film hill I like is the tree saber, and I think it was called Jedi Killer in this Sith fan film. Huh, Jedi Killer. It's yeah, I think I saw that one and it might be pretty cool. I vaguely remember it, but I'm gonna have to go back and check that one out. But Jim, do you remember watching a fan made film that was I think it was in French. I think it was, but of course it had the English subtitles, right? And I thought it was very well done, and it was about this guy who takes a bunch of students with him, uh, and he kills off all of his students, as I think, except for one, and one becomes like a Jedi to try to stop him, the spinning emitter. Huh. And he tries to become like this all-powerful Sith or something like that. I think there was. Oh man, gosh, I'm gonna have to go back to these fan films and write and look at them again and write them down because this is gonna be. I'm gonna have to do another part of tonight's discussion because and have the list of all these different fan-made films with these particular hilts that you can see and the but these particular fan-made films are very very good storylines. Let's see. Jim says, no, I don't recall it, but I tried looking for it in the beginning. Yeah. I think I don't know how long it's been since the first fan made film that I watched, but it was one of the very first ones that I did see, and it was so well done. There was very, very little mess up, if you know what I mean, in terms of the fan made film, because for whatever production company that they did it with, they did a really, really good job of editing because I didn't see too many hiccups in that particular fan made film. There's quite a few of them that you see where they cut it, and you can see where the cuts are made, and this and that, and different things that kind of make the fan made film kind of like, it's okay. It could be better though, right? But these were so well made. And there was one where this girl, she's um, I can't remember the title of it, and um, I have it downloaded. But the girl, I do know that in this particular fan film, it was some sabers, right? A few sabers in there, and she's getting taught by her master, and they use a boken, and she steals his lightsaber. She goes into this cave to try to play around with it. She ends up getting blind and blinded, and later on she realizes, she becomes the Jedi that she was meant to be, and behind her, when it ends, there's a bunch of Sith coming after her, and she turns on the saber, and that's where it cuts out from, right? So, and then you get all these backflashes where she steals the saber, and when he's trying to teach her and all these different things. It's a good one. I forgot the name of the that particular fan made film, but it was pretty decent. I really but there's some really good ones out there. But I think there should be some more shows or even and even series as well, right? I think there should be several series out there that portray a lot of different hilt designs in the show itself. Now, of course, we got Ahsoka, and Ahsoka's, her sabers are really, really well designed. Her nemesis and stuff, their sabers are pretty cool, in fact, right? And then, of course, you got Ezra's lightsaber that becomes Sabine's. But at the same time, I would love to see other shows that portray, Jedi and Sith with much more grandeur of different hilt designs. Okay, maybe even some shows that show, you know, um, that show younglings growing into and becoming the Jedi, right? And within this show, you have all these different designs of sabers that they use through the time of the training. And so you can show different a lot of these different designs from all of these different companies as you see these younglings becoming Jedi, and how they change the design of their sabers as they grow older, right? So you have a timeline, much like Ahsoka did, right? So she had like I think it was two or three designs of sabers that she had during the time that she was in the Clone Wars to the time that she grew up, right? So you saw that. the evolution of her sabers. And that's what I'm trying to get at. I would love to see evolution of sabers through each and every character that comes out and the different hilt designs that come out into these movies. I think that would be so fun to watch and to showcase all the different designs that are coming out. And again, um, even the fan made films, I think could showcase uh, personal personal builds, uh, personal build designs. I think that would really be awesome to see those and for people to showcase those. And they don't necessarily need to do light dueling or have dueling in there, but kind of like show it up close and personal of what they're most proud of. I think that would be excellent to see different things like that. Um, well, and even different, and I've seen some different designs on YouTube and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Uh, but I see a lot of people showcasing hilt designs that are already out there. We got the Star Killer, we got the Look, we got the Leo, we got Dooku, we got all of these different designs. They're already out there, but I want to see the what people are really designing themselves. I think, and there's quite a few of them out there on YouTube, but not as many as I would like to see, right? And because you see a lot of these designs on Pinterest, and you see a lot of these designs on other things, and especially when Instagram and Facebook, you see everybody's designs there, which is great. But I want to see these up on a YouTube channel. I want to see put them on the YouTube channel and show your creation out, right? That I wish I could make a little video of saber creation designs. That I think that would make an awesome thing and just showcase people's designs as they're going, right? I think that would be kind of cool. Kind of cool. And I also, one of the things also from the crystal chamber aspect of the builds, the Disney designs got me thinking, right? And how they have where you put the crystal in there and it goes, has the little, what up, Chet? Hey, dude, how you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by, bro. Tonight's discussion is about, what you see the hilts in the different designs in the movies, the shows, even fan made films. What's some of your favorite hilts into these shows and even fan made films, right? Like what we were saying earlier is that in the fan made films, I've seen quite a few Ultra Sabers, but I'd like to see I'd like to see other people's designs in the fan made films and not just uh I would love to see like Rob Petkow's designs, Cal's designs, all these other different company designs. I would love to see them in these fan made films and so forth, right? Or even maybe a Star Wars film in itself. I would love to see all these different hilt designs in there. Ah, fan made films, yeah, Ultra Saber hilts. There's a lot of them in the fan made films, yes. But I would love to see the different hilts from like Rob and Cal and other companies go into the fan made films, or even some TCSS hilts, right? I think those would be some badass hilts to go into these fan made films, and then maybe even the Star Wars shows and movies themselves. Would love to see these come out, and even somebody's like personal builds go into the fan made films and shows, and their personal builds with the exclusion of Ultra Sabers and the other companies that are kind of frowned upon, so to speak. Let some other saber companies shine for once in terms of fan made films, right? So even comic book stuff, um, some comic book sabers. We got the Star Wars comic books, but one of the things that I was thinking of is having shows where you see saber evolutions go with the younglings to become Jedi, right? That Darth Maul man made film from a new years ago. Yeah, Ultra Sabers. Yeah, it was. It was. But I had, I laughed because the saber didn't make you know, it was a really well written fan made film. It was really well done. Um, it's a shame that the Ultra Sabers was in it. I was hoping it'd be a better than Ultra Sabers, but I mean, nonetheless, it was something that they weren't worried about if something happened to it, right? But the people really made it what it was. It was really well done. I've got it downloaded where I can watch it over and over again. The choreography was kind of decent. It wasn't bad at all. I really enjoyed it for what it was. Um, and I probably think there's about five or six fan-made films that I've seen that have quite a few Ultra Sabers stuff in it. But like I said, I would love to see other companies go into the fan-made films and where you can literally look and say, oh, dude, that's Kel's. Oh, dude, that's Rob's design, man. And one of the hilts that I would love to see in a fan-made film is the Bad Axe. And his current horn. Um, well, maybe most of his designs, right? I mean, I think they're so unique. Vader's vault got some very unique ones that I think would be really well adapted to fan-made films. Even Cal's flagship would really do well in these films as well. It was a very good film, and Saber nerds like noticed it. US, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you wouldn't notice if you weren't a Saber nerd, but yeah, I mean, you noticed it right away, right? I mean, it was that obvious. It really was that obvious, man. It was really that obvious. It's like, dude, okay. But it goes to show you though, because if anything happened to those Sabers, then it wasn't a whole lot of money out of their pocket, right? I mean, come on. It wasn't a whole lot of money out of their pocket. They probably buy two or three of them so that way if something happened, they just pick another one up and keep going with the film. And that was the end of it. And maybe they bought even more than 10, you know, probably about four or five per actor, right? So that they know that when one broke or whatever, they just toss it and go to the next one so that they get done with the film. And I forgot which the Chinese blind girl. Her hilt was also an Ultra Sabers on that fan film, and I forgot what the name of that fan film was, but yeah, that one was really well made too. I enjoyed that one. Let's see, Troopers and a Day in the Life of the Emperor. Yeah, the Bad Axe hilt is a very recognizable hilt. You notice that in the film. Yeah, absolutely, Chad. I mean, but that's the thing. I would I would love to see those hilts in a fan made film. I really would. Um, Different companies, you know what I mean? Not just the Ultra Sabers, but also, different builds too. I like TCSS builds. I think would be really beneficial to fan made films as well. they certainly portray. I mean, TCSS, for all the parts that you can do and everything that you can do with TCSS parts, the MHS parts, there's almost an infinity of things that you can do with their parts and hilts. And I mean, just mix and match and do things like unbelievable hilt designs. And I think they would look so much cooler than just some of the Ultra Saber stuff. I mean, yeah, I considering that Ultra Sabers is kind of plain Jane, from what TCSS parts can actually achieve. I would really enjoy seeing TCSS parts or hilts in fan made films. But yeah, especially. But a lot of Rob's hilts and a lot of Cal's hilts. Um, like I said, there's so many things that you can do with hilts and stuff these days. For your information, this is having a. Oh yes, I know. I saw that. I even sent my daughter. I sent my daughter an email about it. Like, oh, at the moment I don't have money, but I told my daughter. I say, hey, come on, hit Papa up for Christmas. This is I know. Oh my gosh, sales are 15% off. Jesus. If I can, well, I don't know. It's 2 weeks, right, for the sale. If I can sell my truck stuff, I could probably get away with getting a hilt. If I can sell my truck stuff by the end of the week, maybe I can get one. I'll get the other F-16, which is the black and blue, which is Sub-Zero's colors. I get the black and blue, and then I can have somebody paint, the icicles and stuff on it, so that way I'll have Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So, we'll see. I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not, but I gotta clean my stuff up and get it sold. I need to take pictures of the stuff. I got keys. I got it open. I get it cleaned up. Get it sold. If I can get it sold, I can get that hilt and another hilt. So we'll see. Hmm. We'll see. But yeah, I can get the F-16 hilt and plus. But I gotta save half of that money if I do get what I want for that stuff. I can save that money up because I do want to get the Lost Acolyte. I so want to get the Lost Acolyte hilt. I think it's such a great looking hilt. But then Mundo needs an MK sound. Yes, I do. I do. I need a Mortal Kombat sound font. A good one. I need a good one. And I think the perfect preon for that would be Mortal Kombat. He shouts it out, and then he names Sub-Zero, right? And then the other one will have Scorpion. Those are the preons for it, right? And then what is that? Yeah, Jim. Oh God, man, that hilt is so gorgeous, dude. I can, but you need the music too, Felicia. I have the Mortal Kombat soundtrack on tape. Um, I need to find that where it has that the Mortal Kombat sound, right? But it was like the techno song. I need to get that one on there. That'd be too hilarious. That'd be too hilarious, right? You hear that Mortal Kombat, and then it goes to the techno song. Damn, now I'm gonna have to start working out, do martial arts and everything like that. Because you can't have that shit and not be able to do anything. Oh man, this fat ass is gonna have to get in shape. My fat ass is gonna have to get in shape now. Oh shit! You better bring it. Damn, Felicia, you already challenging me. Goddamn. Oh shit. Reptiles theme. Yeah, Reptiles got a good theme. Did you? You know what? Did you ever watch the Mortal Kombat the series? It was on damn, what channel was it? It came on during wrestling on what channel was it? Gosh, I forgot. Trying to think. Oh, you did, right? And it was only 22 episodes. I can't believe that. It was only 22 episodes. That's a I've got the whole series, man. I got the whole series. UPN? Okay. Yeah. It came on right after wrestling. It was right after wrestling. And you know, there was quite a few wrestlers on there that there was quite a few wrestlers that came up on that show, and a lot of what do you call? Oh shit, what do you call it? Different people that came on there too, right? One, yeah, it was only one season, 22 episodes and only one season, and but it was decent. It wasn't that bad. I thought it was gonna be worse than what it was. I mean, parts of it were bad, but not that bad, right? The the martial arts in there, the choreography at times was lukewarm, right? But then there were some that were like pretty well done made for what it was. I think in the beginning of the show, I think people were still trying to kind of figure each other out in terms of choreography. So the choreography kind of suffered a little bit as you know the first three episodes were on, and then as 4, 5, and 6 and later on came, the choreography got a lot better. I think they changed directors or something, but the choreography got considerably better later down. You know, I was hoping that yeah, they filmed 2 episodes for season 2, but were canceled. Yeah, and you know they were canceled because there were several things that were happening with that show, and the main thing was money wise, right? The funding for it. Um, Also, you had Daniel Bernhardt, which was Zero, right? He ended up having other doing other movies on top of that, and so it really became a point of him not being able to return because of doing those other movies at that time. And then the girl that played Tasha, her, she decided she was going to do some other films as well, but because they were also not paying those actors what they were wanting for season 2, so there was a lot of politics that were going on, and that's the reasoning behind the one season. And TBS, and also they were saying that it interfered with some of, I guess I guess it interfered with some of the wrestling time, even though it came on after wrestling. And then you had some of the wrestlers that made cameos in there. I don't know. It was just a lot of different things that were up wanting more rights. Yes, exactly. That too. You know, funding, insurance issues, stunt people getting hurt, writers. Yes, pretty much all of it. Pretty much all of it. But one of the biggest things too is because the The actors, though, they didn't want to give the actors what they were worth, and that was one of the biggest things why they canceled the season two. And it's a shame, though. It's a shame. I would have. I think season two would have been really, really good. Um, but again, it it just goes to show you, upset over actors being on the show. WWE. Really? They got upset. I didn't hear about that one. That they got upset with the wrestling actors on the show. Huh. This is great. I'm learning so much about Mortal Kombat. So laugh out loud. I need to watch it. Oh, so Chet, you have not seen it, huh? Okay. I believe right now, do you have Max? I believe it's on Max right now. If you have Max, which is what used to be HBO Max, but it's just Max now. I think it's on there right now, and it's only 22 episodes. Dude, you can binge watch that damn thing in half a day. Um, yeah, it was just getting good. I'm telling you, it was crazy. I like the fact, and the guy that played Kung Lao, Pablo, whatever his name was, he did a really good job at playing Kung Lao. I really enjoyed him, and the guy that played Raiden, I think he should have played Raiden in the movies. I think, or at least the second movie. He should have come back to play Raiden. I think he wanted to, but they wouldn't give him what he wanted for the movie. So he never did it. And so they got that other guy to come in for Mortal Kombat 2. And it's crazy, man, that the politics play a big part in all of this stuff, right? It's unreal. It's unreal, but the actors actually make what these shows and movies are, and they should understand that, if they're not going to give these actors what they're worth in terms of making a very good film or show, why even try to consider having the show in the first place? Don't even make it until, don't even do anything until you know that the money's there. He should have been Raiden in the second film. Yeah, that's what I said. I think so. I think he should have been rated in the show and all of the movies itself. He should, but like I said, they didn't want to give him what he wanted, so he never did it. He would have made the show and the films the way it should have been made, right? But Highlander came in. Christopher Lambert. I think he did a. I think he made a pretty decent rating. I think he did. Both the guy from the show, Jeffries, I think his name was. Uh, I think both of them should have been the only two that made either the show rating or the movie rating. Rating in those in the show and in the movie. Yeah, Lambert was good. Yeah, Lambert was good, but they didn't. I think he had conflicts of a different movie that was going on, and that's why he didn't do the second one. But I think his scheduling would have allowed him to do it had they worked with him. But who knows? I would have to read up on what actually happened. I never read up on why he actually didn't take it, but um, I think this. I'm not sure if that was before or after Highlander. So I do know that he did get his eyesight was kind of bad at the time too. I mean, that's why he wears glasses and stuff a lot now. He At the time that he did Highlander, his eyesight was starting to go a little bit bad. So it could have been one of those things as well that maybe why he didn't do it. But Like I said, I haven't read up on why he never did the second movie. So for me, it's just hearsay, speculation, speculation. Yeah, man. So, but again, going back to the discussion of lightsabers in movies and shows, and Felicia was saying that maybe we should see some themed kind lightsabers in some of these movies, right? Matt, what up, Matt? How you doing, sir? Hello, hello there. Welcome to the discussion. We were talking about sabers in movie shows and other forms of media and stuff. And what do you like to see in terms of having these lightsaber hilts in let's say fan-made films and TV shows, so forth? That's been tonight's discussion. Um, we've been having a lot of fun though, kind of discussing themed lightsabers right now too. Like and Felicia was saying earlier that maybe there somebody will end up making uh a themed lightsaber for what was it, Felicia? We was talking about blah, 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 blah. My brain's like going cuckoo right now. Terminator. Felicia was saying that maybe somebody will make a themed Terminator themed lightsaber, right? So we're saying that you make a themed lightsaber with the skull and maybe the buttons, the eyes will light up with the buttons, and the chassis will have like all the circuits and stuff in the chassis, and all these different things that will bring out the Terminator lightsaber hilt, right? And then and since we're in October and it's almost Halloween, uh I was thinking somebody could do like a Friday the 13th type of lightsaber hilt, right? It's for Jason's 10X. And have let's see. Jim says, according to Chris Lambert, he just did not like the script for the second film and did other of the original cast, and that's why. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, they. I could see that because they get picky. Yeah. Well, that's a big thing, though, Jim. Also, because any script can actually make or break the actors. You know, their performance and their career too. So one little film can bring them up to stardom, and another little film could bring them all the way back down to not working ever again. So yeah, I guess they got to be picky about it. So if they didn't like it, then yeah, of course, right? Ooh, do a crystal chamber that looks like a rib cage. There you go. There you go, Matt. I get, like I said, I guarantee you somebody else who's going to be watching this later, and maybe somebody half around the world, or you know maybe even close by here in the States or whatever, that's going to be watching this, and they're going to get the ideas and the wild hair up their ass, and they're going to build some of these, man. And I would love to see some of these on YouTube, all of these builds and stuff. And it's just insane with some of the builds that are going on right now, right? And this excludes the main hilts that everybody is doing, like the Luke and Leia, the Star Killer, uh, all of these in the Vader, all of these hills are cool because they're already commonplace, right? I want to see hilts that are not commonplace in shows, videos, movies, and all that stuff. Robin Shu was Liu Kang and said that it was the biggest mistake and wishes the script was better. Yeah, I can see that. They kind of they didn't necessarily do it like the comic book or the show wise, the video game wise. They I think the second movie they try to make it more gamey type movie, right? Instead of the movie type, they try to make it more the movie. I think the show probably was a bit better than the movies themselves, but at the same time, to each his own too. Everybody has their own opinion. Don't get me wrong, I like the Mortal Kombat movies for what it was. I mean, if you're a gamer like I am, you certainly enjoy it for what it is and not for what it really is. I mean, if you look at it from a gaming standpoint, yeah, it's okay. It's good. I mean, it's decent. If you're looking at it from a movie standpoint, it could be a lot better, a way a lot better. And it was done as if the ultimate Mortal Kombat game. Yeah, yeah, Jim. Yeah, it was. It really was. It really was. But like I said, it could have been done a lot better. But they just kind of, I think they rushed it. They added other elements. Yeah, they did. They wanted to make it more exciting, but I think if they really concentrated on less of the way some of the actors are in terms, I think if they did the storyline a whole lot better, it would have worked out a lot more. Um, I think they did not take their time in terms of thinking about what the storyline was in the video games as far as the storyline for each character. Um, I think they really rushed kind of things to get it out of there. But again, that's just my opinion, right? When you rush things, I mean, it's good, but it's not great. Uh, but like I said, going back to Hilts and shows and stuff, I want to see stuff that's out of the ordinary, right? I want to see more out of the ordinary builds come out. And like I really enjoy deviant art stuff because they have some different hilts that can be really cool. And if somebody made them, I would love to see somebody make some of those deviant art hilts, right? And I actually want to make one. I actually printed out one of the hilts, and I want to see if TCSS will actually build it for me or not. Let's see. Jim says Mortal Kombat 4, the game was coming out the next fall and just rushed a movie together. Yeah, they did. They really did. And see, that's the shame. When you rush things just to be with the show, I think it kind of takes away from the soul of the show and the game itself, right? Because if you're really wanting to connect the two, I miss Clockmaker. Lamb Chase is so amazing. Oh, yes. Yes, right? Man, wow. It's been a while. Clockmaker. Huh. Huh? You know what? I'm gonna have to look into that again. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that again for sure. Okay, so what kind of theme hilt would you want to see come out? Like, what would be a themed hilt that you would love to see in I guess it I guess you could pick like any movie, but like do a genre, right? Chet says is Jim Smith in the chat? I don't see Chet. Yes, Z is Jim, buddy. He is Thailand watchmaker and make epic lightsaber chassis. Okay, Thailand, huh? Epic lightsaber chassis. Hmm. I'm gonna have to look at that, man. Thailand watchmaker. He goes by either or Chet, Jim Smith or Zialis. Yeah, he's here. He never misses. So amazing. So amazing, man. Very much appreciated too. Very much appreciated, Jim. And Chet, you too. I mean, everybody here, man. I am so thankful for you guys hanging out with me. It's so amazing to have you guys here and to feed into the discussions because, you know, I think that's how we have a lot of fun. And you don't get a lot of discussions on stuff like that, right? You see a lot of these makers, you see a lot of the saber makers coming in and doing YouTube channels and stuff like that, like I'm doing here, right? And they showcase their builds and stuff. But at the same time, you don't get a whole lot of discussion on hilts themselves. You don't get a whole lot of discussion of what you'd like to see. A whole lot of discussion of what's up and coming, a whole lot of discussion of, what's amazing, what's kind of mediocre and different things like that, right? Felicia, oh, Felicia, yes. Sometimes I do. Felicia goes, the blade could have the effect of lightning. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. No, Chet, that's his handle, buddy. Jim's his real name, but his handle, that's his handle. That's Jim's handle. It's funny. You know, like I was saying earlier in the show, man, there's some of the theme sabers that I've seen, and I think I don't remember. I think it was Blue Force Company or Blue something, right? That was making some themed sabers, and one of the sabers that I seen him make was the Flash saber, and then he also made the He-Man saber, which was really cool. And he had, I believe, I'm pretty sure it was Nova Star's He-Man sound font on it, right? And then he made gosh, what else did he make? He's made several theme sabers that I've seen and I really enjoy. Blue Harvest sabers. Okay, there you go, Jim. Thank you for that. Matt says the theme I want is very subtle. I don't know if anyone here has read The Wheel of Time, but in the lower symbol of a blade master, a heron bird, and I would love to work on that. Dude, that is interesting, Matt, because you know what? I have not read it, but I've been watching the show, The Wheel of Time, right? And that would be an interesting hill in itself. See, that's the reason why I do this show, dude, because there's not too many discussions on stuff like this around. And that's why I love doing the live because you can get into stuff like this and really get to the heart of what people want or think they want or want to see, right? Blue Harvest Sabers. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and look at some of his um um theme sabers again. So and write some of them down for another show because I think I'm gonna do another part of tonight's show at another Monday, right? But man, I tell you, if someone makes a Ghostbusters saber Cosmic Ape makes a good Ghostbusters soundboard. Yes. Oh, Chet. If they do, oh my gosh, man. What do you think they make it out of? Do you think they would do the backpack, right? Or what do you think it would be? How do you think it would be built in terms of the saber, man? I think I think it'd be "Don't cross the streams" and for is one of the font like a preon, right? I think the preon for that would be epic. Oh, that would be epic. And I think like the handle of the backpack where the streams come out of, I think that would be the hilt, right? That would be the hilt right there. And then the preon would be "Don't cross the streams." And then you get the oh, dude, that would be epic, dude. That would be epic. You know what? As a matter of fact, I ought to talk to BK about that, man. I think BK could come up with a really badass sound font for that. And then I want to see somebody build that hilt though. Um, and I think the chassis would be like uh um where they store the ghost in, right? I think that the chassis would kind of look like that a little bit. Would have like where the that foot thing, that little box thing, it would have that kind of like little design on there, and then where they stick the ghost in. I think that would be cool for the chassis, right? That'd be pretty cool. I think that'd be pretty cool. See, I tell you, somebody's gonna be watching this, and they are gonna go and they're gonna make this thing, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see it be put on because they're watching this, and we're giving people ideas. I'm telling you, we're not gonna make them, but they will because we're giving them the ideas. I'm telling you. Chuck, what up? Fat263 has a Ghostbusters font and profile for Profi. There you go. Right? What up, Chuck? Yes, sir. There you go. Do Ray Egon boot. Yes, that would be a good boot up, dude. That would definitely be a good boot up. I can picture it right now too, man. I can just picture it. The Preon would be freaking epic as well, man. But the chassis, oh, so sweet. And you know what? The little the crystal chamber should have a Slimer, right? The crystal chamber should have Slimer with his mouth open and the crystal inside his mouth. That would be cool, dude. Get a resin Slimer put right there. A green resin Slimer with the crystal in his mouth. Oh, dude, look at that! Look, man, we are designing hills on the show on Mundo Madness Monday, guys. This is epic. This is epic. Come on, who's not having a great time talking about this shit? I'm for what I'm stoked, dude. I'd love to see these creations come to mind to have and to see. And I'm wondering who is going to do these. I wonder. I now the race is on, guys. The race is on for makers because they're listening in and they're gonna watch this later on. And I guarantee you, they're gonna get a wild hair up their ass to see who does it first. I want to see. I want to see who does. I want to see who does the resin green slimer with the crystal chamber. That would be fun. That would be too funny, man. Just to see little Slimer like that big with the crystal in his mouth, man. And you know what? You gotta have Rick Moranis in there, right? You gotta have Rick Moranis in there. And one of his sounds, one of his quotes on there. You gotta have Rick Moranis on one of his quotes on the Ghostbusters. Got to, got to. Now I don't know. Has anybody? I don't think anybody has even done. I don't. What is it? What do you call it? There is a sound font with Spaceballs, I think. We got one, Felicia. Matt says, "I'm your father's brother's nephew's cousin, former roommate." Yes, yes. Oh, dude, we're having too much fun, man. This is why I love doing live, man. This is why I love doing this, man. Dude, this is so much. This is so cool. Chet says I'm MOG. Too funny. Too funny. But it's been a great discussion tonight, though, man. I really have enjoyed all of this, and especially doing the theme sabers, right? We're mapping out for somebody to do some of these theme sabers as well. And I'm telling you, now you think that somebody would actually pull off like a Freddy Krueger lightsaber hilt? Yeah, I would say you would have the glove right as the emitter, right, and then his skin for the outside of the hilt, or maybe the chassis will have the skin, right, his facial skin or and his body skin in the chassis, and the emitter will have like the glove type, um, and I don't know, maybe his mouth or something for, uh, or his hat, maybe his hat for the emitter, right, and the face for the buttons or something like that. Freddy would be hard to do. Yeah, maybe it might be, but it's a concept, right? It's a concept. Chet says, "Gotta run. This was fun. Good night, everybody. Good night, Chet, man." Yeah, we're pretty much gonna close it down. I'm gonna pretty much close it down here in just a few minutes too, man. With the claw sticking out around the emitter? Yeah, Matt. Yeah. I would say maybe the claws, the glove and the claws and the hat all together for as the emitter, right? Something like that. But like I said, these are just concepts, man. These are just concepts that we're talking about. Now, as I was saying for like the Friday the 13th, you got the hockey mask, right? Jason's hockey mask. Night two, bye. Good night, Felicia. So the hockey mask would have like the eyes for the buttons, right? Or and inside the chassis would be the machetes on each side of the chassis because that was Jason's go-to thing was the machete. So concepts, people, concepts. Well, guys, I had a lot of fun, and I think we're going to go ahead and end it right there. And I certainly enjoyed and having everybody on here. Thank you guys. I love you all for coming on, hanging out with me. It's been fun. And so, if you guys really enjoyed it, and for those of you who are watching later on, and you enjoy this and enjoy, make sure you like and subscribe not only to my channel, uh, Mundo Cabrera at 700, well, at Mundo Cabrera 7007. Um, that's my channel here at Civilized Sabers. You can like and subscribe. Anthony has been graciously, giving me Mundo Madness Monday for Civilized Sabers. The brightest blades on the planet. So if you want a TriStar, Quad Star, Pentastar, you got quality blades and unheard of LEDs in a single blade, man. Check out Civilized Sabers and check out the blades. Check out Anthony's videos on his blades and like and subscribe to the channel. And I certainly appreciate each and every person here and watching, participating, and everything. Be sure and be nice to each other out there, man. Saber nerds, everybody, have fun, man. Chuck, thank you, sir. I appreciate it, man. You have a great Monday night. Everybody have a great week. And I certainly love you all. Thank you so much, guys. And Mundo's gonna brand out here in just a few seconds. And oh my god, laters. And no, it hasn't started. My goodness,
In
it will not.
here, we pour whiskey,